Conference. I'm sorry it's not very packed today, but let's give the fighters a round of applause for making it through the snow. As again, the reason why you put these shows on is that these fighters have got to make a living. If you just cancel a show or don't fancy it because you're a bit cold, these guys will go hungry. A lot of these guys are now professional, that's what they do for a living. So again, it's not just the fighters, it's the fans that support these guys. So without you guys, without the fans, UCMMA wouldn't be here. So thanks again for getting on your sledges or whatever it took you to get here. I know for me, we left 2 hours early, we got here an hour early. It was great travelling. But there is one girl that hasn't made it quite yet, Vicky Watts. I'm sorry, Michelle, she's on her way, but she's a couple of hours late. She's struggling on down. And that's the girl fight, we'll get to that pretty shortly. Okay, just to let you all know, we've signed a new deal for Sky TV. The whole of next year is going to be on Sky. We've got a weekly show again called Cage Fighter, which many of you now are going to be on there already. John Kelly, Chapman, Smith, a lot of you guys have been on there. If you haven't been on there, give me a ding and let's get you on there, because you guys definitely deserve to be on TV. I know you work hard and train hard. There is no UK one on tomorrow, so for all you stand-up guys, it's all strictly MMA. So the whole 14 fights are going to be MMA, and again we have a special fight tomorrow, which is the ladies' fight. A lot of you guys have been waiting to see these girls in action. Michelle, just stand up so I have a nice look at you. Give that girl a round of applause anyway. She's finally stepped into the cage. It's going to be a tough fight for her. She knows it's a hard opponent. But also with that, she's got a documentary filmer, Victoria Wood over there, for the BBC, and many of the months and months of hard work gone into it, so good luck with that. And also, is it Izzy? Is he stand up somewhere? You've got a new, is it a new girl website?
Yeah, it's for UK fighters, because that's when we have problems finding each other, because there's not that many of them, so it's kind of database, any girls you know, amateur or pro, and you get them to log on. It's cagequeen.co.uk. So
cagequeens.co.uk. Queen?
Yeah, just one of them.
Oh, just one queen.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll try and get a link onto our site, because it's always good for a lot of you girls who don't want to fight. So good luck with that, Michelle, tomorrow. Okay, the rules of MMA, it's all standard rules. There is no amateur, no semi-pro. This is all a fully pro show. 3 5-minute rounds for title fights, for non-title fights. The only difference from us and the UFC, there is no elbows to the head on the ground. If you're not sure of the rules, you've never fought for us before, tomorrow being here at 4:30, Grant Waterman will run right through the full set of rules for you. If any of you got any problems with the rules now, please raise your hand. I know some of you haven't fought. James Lutman hasn't fought for us before. Jermaine Facey, jog on. Wendell, yes?
No, just I need to go over the rules because it's my first time as well.
It's your first time as well? Yeah. Right, okay, well tomorrow, no problem, you can go right over the rules. But it's exactly the same rules as the UFC, 3 5-minute rounds, but no elbows to the head. Also, Big Thomas, yeah? Tomorrow, make sure you're here. It's the first time we fought for you before. Okay, I'm sorry, Mr. Facey, go on in back again. Yes.
Sorry, sir, did you say on the ground?
On the ground.
Oh, you missed that bit.
Did I?
Yeah. Sorry, Dave.
Hey, listen, I'm by no means perfect. Yes, Joel.
For those who don't know why there's no elbows on the ground, can you just explain?
Okay. My friend, me and Andy Gear, we used to have elbows on the ground. We had big cuts across the eyebrows, you know, and a lot of the time we was exactly saying, let's use UFC rules, until we went to Japan and they explained to us why they don't use elbows on the ground. And we come away thinking, you know what, that's a really good idea, and sometimes you take it on board. The reason why a cut can be caused like that, and you can't see it, as a crowd spectator on the ground, you're that close, little jig like that, and your elbow's probably the sharpest point of your body, can cause a cut, end the fight, end fight's career. Whereas if you've got to use ground and pound, you've got to lift your body up and start striking down. So 1, it's good for the audience, 2, it's much safer for the fighter. That's the only reason, because, you know, if they start using knees to the head, soccer kicks, where do you stop the going with that? So it's all about safety to the fighter. So that's why we don't use it. But, you know, if everyone puts their hands up and say, no, all the fighters, we want elbows, I change the rules tomorrow. It's for the fighter's safety that we use it, not for anything else, not for my pleasure, because I'm not getting in there. And after the fans will go, yeah, get in the elbows, they're not getting in there. It's for the fighter's safety, so they can fight regular, and you know, they may get stopped by the referee, but at least they can carry on and not get a 4 or 5 inch gash across the head. Any other questions about elbows? Any votes on the fighters? Would all fighters like to see elbows on the ground?
If you pay us more money as well, Dave, yes sir.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Soccer kicks, guns, I don't know. What would you want to do? Spiked gloves, it doesn't matter because I'm not fighting. It's you're the guys that are fighting, you remember that. I'm here to promote your safety. Yeah, that's the only reason I do it for, is promote your safety. You've got the wife and kids at home and go, oh, you can't fight for 6 months, really sorry, Nick. Really sorry about it. Because it's always great when you're using elbows when you're on top, but what happens when you're on the bottom? You're going like that, shit, I wish I'd have changed the rules. Why did I change the rules? That's the difference, guys, yeah? Any other questions about elbows? No? Thanks, Jim, mate.
I think of something else. I'll let you continue, sorry.
Cornermen. Guys, we got recommended by the fire department last time. It was the best it's ever been down in the VIP area. I know we lost a lot of friends by saying, no, you can't go down there. I'm very sorry, fighters. I've known you for 30 years. You can't go down there. But it's the only way this show will carry on. We've got to be strict. That means you get 2 corner passes. If you've got more of your team, only 3 of you can still walk down that runway and get to that cage. After you've fought, you cannot stay down there. You've got to come back out. That's just simple. That's the way it's got to be. Unfortunate for all the people we've known for years and years, the Jermaine Faces, the whatever, I don't care who you are. Last time I was vicious, I said, sorry, you can't be in there. That's the way it's got to be. For us to work and for the fire department to let these people, for the show to carry on, that's the way it's got to be. So it has got to be strict. So, yes, Brad?
Me and John are from the same team, one after the other, we've got the same tournament.
Sorry?
How would that work with the tournament? Me and John are from the same team.
Yep.
We won't need the same people. Go out and come skin, you know.
So you go out, with our show, you know there's a lot of links, so we don't just go one fight, one in. Straight away there's an interview afterwards, you cornermen go out to the back, and then you have to come back out again. It's not the first time you've had 2 cornermen, but you know as well, you've always got other guys warming you up upstairs, so that maybe the same cornermen might walk you back in, but you still won't be allowed to have 2 down there, unless you all got to come out before the next lot of fighters go back in. Yeah, do you understand that? Okay. Moving on, fighters, passes. Okay then, bring me round to this very good time. The questions to the fighters. Any questions to our lovely fighters out there, guys, all you journalists out there? And there's a lot of grudge matches, a lot of angry people on this table, trust me. Yes, Jim?
Got one from Ross.
Ross the Gladiator, the return pointer.
A few weeks ago you were down to fight someone else, different promotion, now it's all changed up. How do you feel about these last minute changes?
I'm happy with the last minute changes, you know. Basically the fight that was rearranged, that was planned in Liverpool fell through for certain reasons I can't discuss. Dave came up with a fight for me and I took it because Dave's the man. You know, so there you go, man. The fight was there and there you go, I'm here to fight and that's what I'm going to do tomorrow night. I'm going to smash somebody up. Naming no names.
I will just say one thing. Michael is exactly the same as you was when you was young. He will fight anybody, anytime, any place. And that's exactly how Ross started. He didn't care who he fought. And exactly how Michael's got no fear of man, devil or God. Michael, what do you say to that?
At the end of the day, I'm going to smash you up, brother. Yeah? Let's get it right, yeah?
As I said to you, no fear.
Starting over, no weapons.
What's happening here?
You said weapons.
What's going on in there?
It's all that smashing
Broken
talk.
bottles, knives, gloves.
Dave, leave it out. He's from up north, leave it. It's all gone wrong.
Who wants a chair?
Where's one of my runners? Could you just go and get one of the guys to get this up? Any more questions, please? Yes. Oh, sorry, Jim.
Yeah, I've got a question for Nick.
Nick the headhunter.
Nick the headhunter, Chapman. What areas of your game have you been working on to try and defeat your opponent this time? Because you knocked out your first opponent and you gave someone a arm triangle the last time. What areas are you looking for this time?
Work in all areas. Spend a lot of time on jiu-jitsu. Roger Gracie at the moment, doing great things there. Love it. Boxing as well, kickboxing. I'm keeping things hidden at the moment. Someone's going to get knocked out quite soon, but so I'm working on this stand-up. But I take each one as it comes. But every single week, I train the same disciplines right across the board.
Is your opponent here? Is your opponent?
He's just here.
How you doing? You've seen his fights, I'm assuming. What do you find that feel are his weaknesses, and how you can try and exploit them?
Did you watch his last? Did you watch his last fight with Jake Boswick?
Yes.
Good man.
I don't really look at his weaknesses. I can look at what I can do better. He's a strong bloke, he's a powerful bloke, so I'm going to try and stay away from that. But at the end of the day, he might be working on his stand-up, but I think it's going to be better. Mine's going to be better. So.
Yes, Steve.
For Ben, obviously title's been vacated and you're fighting for that. Would you have rather fought the current or previous holder, or are you happy with what you've got?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I'll take every fight as it gets offered. I mean, the question of Neil came up before, but obviously he was in Bellator, and we knew that, you know, if he won Bellator, he was probably going to stay there. He very nearly won it anyway, and I think that's why they decided to keep him. It would have been difficult because Neil's a friend of mine, and we've sparred together, and we've trained together, so it wouldn't have been great. But listen, you know, I'm a professional, and if the fighter can't fight him, I would have took it. But I'm happy with what I've got, and from what I've heard, Irvin definitely comes to fight. He's a tough guy, so should be a good fight tomorrow night.